dear student. Today we will be learning chapter number 8 from a history textbook, that is Tourism and History. Children, as we all know that traveling adds flavor to life as you travel to different places that have different culture and the lifestyles. Also, it is an easy way to learn about the culture and the tradition of that particular place. Besides, for many areas, tourism is their main source of income. Tourism is a vital for the success of many economies around the world. There are several benefits of tourism on host destinations. Tourism boosts the revenue of the economy. It creates thousands of jobs, develops the infrastructures of a country, and plant a sense of cultural exchange between foreigners and the citizens. So children, let us understand more about that how the tourism and history are related to one and the other in this lesson in the module 1 of the given chapter. So children, let us begin the lesson. So the topics that we will be covering in this module, that is introduction of the chapter, tourism in the past, and different types of tourism. So children, let us begin our lesson. Tourism. Children, let us understand what tourism means to us. Tourism is the activities of people traveling and staying in places outside their usual environment for leisure, business, or for other purposes for not more than one consecutive year. Tourism means people traveling for fun, for sightseeing, camping, relaxation, pleasure, and even for the use of the commercial provision of services. Places where many tourists stay are called as resorts. Places that people go to for tourism are called as tourist destinations. Tourism boosts our economic, employs thousands of people, enriches our businesses, and pays for important public services such as education and law enforcement. Tourism work for each of us every day. Tourism funds operating expenses and infrastructure in our local public education system. Tourism is so popular as an industry. Tourism breaks down barriers between communities and encourages a free and open exchange of people and ideas. Tourism is often among the first industries to emerge in post-conflict regions. Carefully implemented, tourism can thrive in transnational regions where other industries struggles. Now let us understand how the tourism was during the past time or during the ancient time. Tourism in the past. Travel is an ancient phenomenon. From the very earliest historical period, travel has fascinated man. Much of the travel in the beginning was largely unconscious and rather a simple affair. The cumbersome procedure that we witness in travel today were not to be found in the olden days. No travel formalities existed. Travels in the distant past was not a thing of treasure as it is now. The traveler of the past were the merchant, a pilgrim, a scholar in the search of ancient texts, or even a curious wayfarer looking forward new and exciting experiences. In brief, from the ancient time, people took traveling for the various reasons. People also travel from one place to other place to explore or for the local fairs and the festivals. Also, in search of the renowned teachers and a good education. Traveling also carried out for the sake of the trade. Do you know? Buddhist monks were ordained not to stay at one place, but keep on traveling continuously from one place to the other place. The Buddhist literature tells us that Gautam Buddha, who traveled to several cities in the ancient India for his preaching among the people. Jain monks, sadhus, were also used to travel constantly from one place to the other place. One of the famous Chinese monk named as Yang Shong traveled to India in the year 630 CE to know more about the Indian literature. Saints from the medieval period. The saints represented an important resources on the pilgrimage of the life. Their lives were full of examples of resistance to temptation and evil, and also the heroic faith and virtue which could teach and encourages as well as inspire the life of the people. In the medieval period, Saint Namdev, Saint Eknath, Guru Nanak, Ramdas Swami traveled extensively to many parts of the India for to spread their teachings among the people. Benjamin of Tudela. Benjamin of Tudela is known as the first European traveler or discoverer. He was born in Spain. During the period of 1159 to 1173 CE, he traveled to France, Germany, Italy, Greece, Syria, Arabia, Egypt, Iraq, India, China, and many more. He maintained diaries of the accounts of his travels. His diaries are viewed as important historical documents. Marco Polo. Marco Polo was an Italian explorer known for his book The Travels of Marco Polo, which describes his voyages to and experiences in Asia. Polo traveled extensively with his family, journeying from Europe to Asia from the year 1271 to the year 1295 and remaining in China for around 17 of those years. Around 1292, he left China acting as escort along the way of Mongol princes who was being sent to Persia. He wrote about the flora and the fauna, social life and the cultural life as well as the trade system of the Asia. Let us move to the next traveler, that is Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta was a Muslim Berber Moroccan scholar and explorer of the 14th century who widely traveled the whole world, traveling more than any other explorer in the history. Ibn Battuta took the world on the virtual travel of the Islamic world with his traveler accounts. He was traveling for more than 30 years. He had resolved not to travel twice on the same route. His accounts are helpful for us to understand the history of the medieval period as well as the social life during the medieval period. Let us move to the next traveler, that is Gerardus Mercator. Gerardus Mercator. Gerardus Mercator was a traveler of 16th century. He was a cartographer. The word cartographer means a person who draw or produce map. He is known for his creating a world map and a globe of the earth. His work proved to be very useful for navigation around the world. The world navigation means to show the direction. Thomas Cook, the world's oldest tour operator. Thomas Cook is noteworthy in the context of tourism history. It is the leading integrated travel services company in the country, offering a broad spectrum of services that includes foreign exchange, corporate travel, leisure travel, value-added services, visa and passport services, and e-business. The company set up its first office in India in the year 1881. He organized a trip by railway from the place Leicester to Loughborough for about 600 people. Later, he was successful in organizing a round trip of Europe. Eventually, he established a travel agency selling tourist tickets. These earlier ventures of Thomas Cook opened doors for development of modern tourism. The tradition of traveling from corner to corner was prevalent in India from the ancient times. Vishnu Bhatt Godse wrote down the accounts of his journey from Maharashtra to Ayodhya and back to Maharashtra. It is published as a book entitled Majha Pravas. Vishnu Bhatt traveled during times of India War of Independence in the year 1857. He was the eyewitness for many events related to this historical event. His accounts are full of detailed descriptions about various incidents during this period, especially those about the life of Lakshmibai, the Queen of Jhansi. We also get the information and the knowledge about the nature of Marathi language of the 18th century in this book. This book is also one of the important sources of history of that particular period. Types of tourism. Tourism also varies in different forms, such as local and interstate tourism, international tourism, historical tourism, geographical tourism, health tourism, agrotourism, sports tourism, and tourism based on special events. So children, let us understand each of them one by one. So let us begin first with local and interstate tourism. Local and interstate tourism. This kind of tourism can be experienced within one's own country or within or among one own nation. This kind of tourism is not very overwhelming. The word overwhelming means very large in amount. It does not cause difficulties of language, procuring currency and documents. So, one can plan it at the time suitable for them. Let us move to the next one, that is international tourism. International tourism. International tourism refers to tourism that crosses national borders. Nowadays, it has become easier to travel because of the easy availability of number of options such as the railways, marine services and the air transport. Marine transport has linked the coastal regions. There is a trans-European railway route. Aviation has brought the entire world closer. Because of the economic liberalization policy of the Indian government, the number of people traveling back and forth from India has increased considerably. They include people traveling for studies, relaxation, sightseeing, and for professional assignments such as for meeting, seminar, agreements, etc. It also increased for shooting of films and many more. One need to procure various official documents for traveling to abroad. Let us move to the next tourism, that is historical tourism. Historical tourism. Tour to the historical places are known as historical tourism. This type of tourism is popular in all over the world. It can be noted in this text that Gopal Nilkant Dandekar, a renowned Marathi writer, used to arrange hiking tours to the fort in the Maharashtra to explore the site closely related to the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his achievements. Tours are also arranged to the important historical sites in India such as forts in Rajasthan, ashrams of Mahatma Gandhi and Acharya Vinoba Bhave, and also the important places related to India War of Independence in the year 1857. People of various people of various religious communities are dispersed globally. However, they feel united because of their mythological traditions and the place associated with those traditions. This creates a desire to travel to those places and it gives rise to the religious tourism. In this context, the construction under the Ahilyabai Holkar spending for her personal fund are noteworthy. Ahilyabai wanted to provide a good amenities on the pilgrim routes like Chardham Yatras as well as Bara Jyotirlingas. Let us move to the next tourism, that is geographical tourism. Geographical tourism. This type of tourism involves visiting places to observe the special geographical feature of that particular region. It includes various natural and man-made nature, animal sanctuaries, places like valleys of flowers, various beaches, unique geographical wonders like the crater lake at Lunar. The crater lake at Lunar is a notified National Geoheritage Monument, Saline Soda Lake, located at Lonar in the Buldhana district of Maharashtra. Lonar Lake was created by the meteoroid collision. It is also said that Lonar Lake lies within the only known extraterrestrial impact crater found within the Greater Deccan Traps, a huge basaltic formation in India. The lake was initially believed to be an volcanic origin, but now it is recognized as the impact of crater. Lunar Lake was created by the impact of either a comet or of an asteroid. Let us move to the next geographical wonder, that is Ranjan Khalge at Nighoj. Ranjan Khalge at Nighoj is a village at Ahmednagar district of Maharashtra. It is about 90 kilometers away from Pune and is famous for its naturally created potholes on the riverbed of Kukudi River. Experts from all over the world come here every year to study about the phenomenon of their formation. Many tourists like to visit these places to satisfy their curiosity. Health tourism. People from the Western countries find the health services and facilities in India comparatively cheaper and yet of good standard. Hence, many foreigners prefer to come to India to avail the medical facilities and the health services. India is a tropical country where ample sunlight is available throughout the year. This attracts tourists from countries with cold climate to India. Availability of facilities for yoga training and therapists based on Ayurveda is one of the more reasons to want to visit India. Agrotourism. Agrotourism is also known as agritourism, which involves any agricultural based operation or activities that brings visitor to a farm or ranch. It is, it is rapidly developing, especially meant for the urban population, which has very little exposure of rural life and agriculture. Now, Indian farmers are also visiting faraway places like agriculture research center, agriculture universities, and countries like Israel where experimentations in advanced technology related to the agriculture is carried out. Sports tourism. Sports tourism refers to travel which involves either observing or participating in a sporting event while staying apart from the tourist usual environment. Sports tourism is a fast growing sector of the global travel industry. Sports tourism was developed in the 20th century. There was various sports event organized on the international level such as Olympic, Wimbledon, World Chess Championship and International Cricket Tournament. Whereas to the national level such as Himalaya Car Rally, to the state level such as Maharashtra Kesari Wrestling competitions. Traveling to attend such event come under sports competition or sports tourism. Tourism based on special events. People want to travel and they look out for the special reasons to do it. In the 21st century, it has become common to organize such events, which also help to promote tourism, such as film festival, various types of seminar, conferences, international books exhibition, and many more are the examples of such special events. People keep on visiting several places to attend such special events. Many literatures in Maharashtra emphasizes on the travel every year to attend Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sahitya Sammelan. Children, let us come to the evaluation segment of the given module. So the question number 1 that we have here, that is fill in the blank. Thomas Cook established a travel agency selling dash. So the answer for the question is tourist tickets. Question number 2. From ancient times, people took dash in traveling. So the answer for the question is pleasure. Let us move to the next question. Write short notes. So the first question that we have here, that is tradition of traveling. So the answer for the question is tradition of traveling is quite old in India. People used to travel for various reasons like pilgrim, local fairs and festivals, in search of renowned and good education, and also for their trade purposes. From the ancient time, people took pleasure in traveling. Buddhist monks were ordained not to stay at one place but keep on traveling continuously for various places. Let us move to the next question. Marco Polo. As we have all studied that Marco Polo was an Italian traveler of the 13th century who has introduced Asia, especially China, to Europe. He stayed in the China for around 17 years. He also wrote a book on flora and fauna, social life and the cultural life as well as trade system of Asia. The next question that we have, that is agrotourism. The, so the answer for the question is the agrotourism, which is also known as agritourism, is rapidly developing, especially meant for the urban population, which has very little exposure to the rural life and the agriculture. Indian farmers are also visiting far away places like agriculture research centers, agricultural universities, countries like Israel, where experimentation in advanced technology of agriculture carried out. Let us move to the third question, that is explain the following statement with reason. So children, for writing the answer of this question, kindly watch the video.